anything, even outside of school. So let's go into the protocols and rules of monk mode. So first, we have eliminating distractions. This could include turning off notifications, minimizing social media usage, and creating a quiet workspace. So this point right here of eliminating distractions, this is the basis of monk mode. The basis of monk mode is the removal of distractions. Personally, me, I would just turn my phone off and put it into a drawer. The turning off notifs and do not disturb, don't fool yourself. As long as your phone is there, you're going to be distracted by it. Take your phone off, put it in a drawer, and focus. Simple. Create a work environment where it becomes so easy for you to do work. Lock yourself in a room, no phone, no anything, no distractions. Just everything you need to study. Everything you need to study. Your book and syllabus. That's it. That's all you need. Establish a routine. So you set specific work hours, incorporate breaks, following a structured schedule. So for this, everything after the colon, you can just write that in the notes, but I'll just highlight the main points and then just talk my own thing. So it's up to you to write the rest of the notes. Or anything you hear me mention, you could write it down. So point two, which is establishing a routine. So there's this concept called time blocking where you are able to essentially train your brain to operate a certain way at specific times. So just to use an example to elaborate that a little better, you know how like if your bedtime is usually 10 p.m., even if you're doing something else, your body will naturally get tired at 10 p.m. regardless. It's the same concept. If you set specific hours to focus every day, your brain naturally becomes primed to be focused during those hours. So it makes your time block sessions more efficient. As the term goes on, you'll just become more efficient. So the same 2 hours of work that you would do every day from 8 to 10, those same 2 hours of work, as time goes on and as you go later on in the term, those 2 hours become more efficient because your brain becomes naturally primed to be focused during those 2 hours. So your learning becomes more efficient. Prioritizing tasks. So let me use an example to illustrate this. Let's say you usually go to the gym 5 days per week for an hour and a half each time. Do you think personally, now this is right before exams, this is like during exam season, do you think it's wise to utilize 6 to 7 hours every week on going to the gym? I don't think so, especially if it's right before exam. I think it would be wiser to work out 5 days per week, same 5 days, but you reduce your time to 30 minutes per session. You just save yourself at least 2 hours of studying per week. Some things don't need to be fully removed. For example, you don't want to fully remove exercising from your schedule, but you want to prioritize. So you don't need to fully remove it, but you need to do the minimum effective dose. The minimum effective dose is just enough work, just enough effort, so that that aspect of your life doesn't slide backwards. So you talk to your friends just enough so that they don't lock you off and say, oh yeah, you change up. You exercise just enough so you don't become fat, you don't become lazy, you don't become lethargic. So it's about prioritizing. You need to focus on the minimum effective dose. That's what I did. I focused on the minimum effective dose. Just the right amount of effort so that you don't decline. Because prioritize means that things come prior to it. It's in the word prioritize. Things come prior to it. During this period of your life, during a season of monk mode, your work takes precedence over all other aspects of your life. It comes prior to every other aspect of your life. Remember the law of thermodynamics that I mentioned in lecture 1. You have limited energy and you need to use it wisely. So this is where prioritizing tasks come in a very important way. Practicing mindfulness. Spoke about this in lecture 1 as well. So this point we could briefly run through as well because there's going to be an entire lecture later on mindfulness because I believe it's super important. But this is one of the few activities that is a meta skill or a meta activity. meaning that it helps all other activities in your life. It kind of adds to the other aspects of your life as opposed to taking away. So, for example, like taking a nap, like taking a 30-minute nap before you do work, that adds to your life. Like, yes, it's 30 minutes of not studying, but it adds up. It adds like probably another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours of studying, of focus work. So it's very similar to that. It's similar to sleeping. Having a solid and consistent mindfulness practice will add energy and time to your life, add a certain oomph to your study. You're just way more focused, way more calm. I mean, when we get into the later lectures on mindfulness, we definitely talk about the benefits of meditation. But I'm a huge proponent of meditation. I feel like if you consider yourself a student in this fold, meditation has to be a daily practice. It has to be. Setting goals. Define the clear objectives and track progress. So in the first lecture, again, all the lectures kind of dovetail into each other. I mentioned having a little notepad and keeping track of what needs to be done, also having a timer. It's a really simple activity, but it helps a lot. Once you start measuring your activities, you're able to clearly see what you're doing and what you're not doing. What aspects need to be improved and what aspects you could reduce on, or what aspects need a little bit more focus. Point 6 is implementing a healthy lifestyle. So get adequate sleep. This is probably the most important thing in this healthy lifestyle, getting proper sleep. And yes, this means no blue light before bed, no phones before bed, no scrolling before bed. Yes, I know it's hard, but again, 98% will do one thing and the 2% will do something else, and that 2% will get the results of the 2%. It also means no drugs that would affect your sleep before bed. This includes marijuana. As much as you believe that it helps you sleep, it doesn't. It's a sedative. It puts you to sleep quicker, but you don't get a deep sleep. Marijuana is one. Caffeine, we know if you drink caffeine before bed, it will keep you up. Nicotine as well. Nicotine is a stimulant, so it keeps you up. No nicotine, no caffeine, no marijuana before bed. I know it's hard, but again, the 2% and the 98%. Eat less sugar, processed sugar, eat more protein and eat more veggies. Carbs are not too bad. I'm not a nutritionist, but I work best when I'm on a high protein, low carb diet. Also, I highly recommend fasting. You get so much clarity on an empty stomach. Some green tea on an empty stomach, and you're just locked in. Bro, binaural beats, fasting, green tea, bro, you can take over the world. And make sure you're hydrated though. You have to make sure you're hydrated in all aspects, whether you're fasting, whether you're doing high protein, low carb, whatever it is, just make sure you're always hydrated. Put some pink Himalayan salt in your water, and it will help with hydration. Put some cucumbers in your water, it will help with hydration. You could eat watermelons as well, they help with hydration a lot. Exercise daily if you could, but don't make it a priority. Your workout shouldn't be more than 30 minutes. Again, we're not trying to prioritize gains and a good physique. That's not our priority right now. We're focusing on the minimum effective dose. We're just trying to get our blood flowing so our brain works better. Our focus is our schoolwork right now. Again, prioritize. Everything in your life needs to be optimized towards the one thing, which is school, which is getting that scholarship, which is getting those ones. Everything is optimized towards that. We're not here to have the best physique, we're here to have the best grades. So let's talk about the science behind monk mode. I'll just run through it really quick because I don't want to just blabber about monk mode with no kind of backing behind it. So extended periods of deep work, similar to monk mode, can lead to higher quality output and increased productivity. This is from Newport 2016. This is actually from a guy called Cal Newport. You can check out his book called Deep Work. It was a real good book. So check out Cal Newport, Deep Work. It's a good read. Mindfulness practice incorporated has been shown to improve cognitive abilities such as attention, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. If I told you there's a pill you could take which improves cognitive abilities such as attention, working memory, and cognitive flexibility, you would take that pill. That is what meditation is. It just takes 10 to 15 minutes to take the pill. The Journal of Experimental Psychology found that multitasking, common in modern work environments, can lead to 40% decrease in productivity. As I mentioned before, no phones. Don't fool yourself with this bullshit about do not disturb. Put your phone in the drawer. It's just 2 hours. It's a small sacrifice to make. The world isn't going to end. You are not Elon Musk. You do not run a multi-million dollar or multi-billion dollar company. The world will continue perfectly fine without you being on your phone for 2 hours. Engaging in activities that provide a state of flow leads to increased happiness, satisfaction, and overall well being. This is similar to what I mentioned about reducing stress. I assume that once you're in a state of flow, you tend to do more in life. And when you do more in life, you have higher satisfaction and overall well being. So that's my connection with this last study. So let's talk about my personal protocol. This is a major key if you are interested in doing the monk mode protocol, because I'm going to go pretty in depth. So if you weren't really paying attention before, or I lost your attention, this is the time to pay attention. Put the phone down for a little bit, pay attention, and take notes, because this is very important. If you would notice, the majority of the information comes from me speaking as opposed to what is